The Philippine Coast Guard is entering a new era of modernization as it officially acquired more, faster, and bigger ships designed to protect the country's sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea. For years, Filipino fishermen and maritime patrol units have faced increasing harassment from Chinese vessels in disputed waters, but with this latest acquisition, Manila is sending a strong message. The Philippines is serious about defending its maritime domain and ensuring that its presence in the South China Sea is no longer weak or symbolic, but powerful and persistent. The expansion of the Philippine Coast Guard fleet represents not just a technical upgrade, but also a geopolitical statement that echoes across the entire Indo-Pacific region. The new ships are larger in tonnage compared to the older vessels the Coast Guard has been using. These state-of-the-art ships are also significantly faster, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies, patrol larger areas, and outmaneuver foreign ships that intrude into Philippine waters. Bigger platforms mean more endurance at sea, enabling them to stay deployed for longer missions without the need for constant refueling or resupply. This directly translates into stronger law enforcement capabilities, improved humanitarian missions, and more consistent monitoring of Chinese activities within the West Philippine Sea. Observers note that the Philippine Coast Guard's modernization program is a direct response to China's growing assertiveness in the region. Over the past decade, Beijing has expanded its naval and coast guard presence in disputed waters, building artificial islands, deploying larger white-hulled vessels, and even engaging in dangerous maneuvers against smaller Filipino patrol ships. In some instances, Chinese ships blocked Philippine resupply missions to Ayungin Shoal and harassed local fishermen near Scarborough Shoal. These aggressive acts have placed pressure on Manila to enhance its maritime defense capacity, and the acquisition of modern vessels represents a critical step forward in rebalancing the power dynamics at sea. The modernization of the Philippine Coast Guard is also backed by stronger partnerships with allies. Japan has provided patrol ships and training, while the United States continues to enhance interoperability through joint exercises and maritime domain awareness programs. These new ships, while built with advanced capabilities, are also part of a wider strategic plan to ensure that the Philippines is not isolated in its struggle against a much larger adversary. With more ships patrolling the West Philippine Sea, Filipino fishermen can operate with greater security, and the country can conduct more assertive sovereignty patrols without fear of immediate intimidation. Beyond the military and security implications, the acquisition also has economic significance. The West Philippine Sea is rich in fisheries and believed to hold vast reserves of oil and natural gas. Protecting these resources is crucial for the long-term energy security and economic independence of the Philippines. By investing in bigger and faster ships, the government is essentially safeguarding the livelihood of thousands of fishermen and ensuring that future generations can benefit from the natural wealth of Philippine waters. Without such protection, China's dominance in the region could strip the Philippines of its rightful resources, leaving the nation vulnerable to both economic and strategic disadvantages. These newly acquired vessels also highlight the changing nature of modern maritime operations. Traditional Coast Guard duties such as search and rescue, environmental protection, and law enforcement remain core missions. However, in the context of rising tensions with China, these roles are now intertwined with national defense objectives. Every patrol is not just about safety and humanitarian assistance, but also about projecting sovereignty and asserting the Philippines' rights under international law, particularly the 2016 Hague ruling which invalidated China's Sweeping Nine-Line claim. The speed and endurance of these ships also improve the Coast Guard's ability to coordinate with other branches of the armed forces. The Philippine Navy, Air Force, and even civilian agencies stand to benefit from a more capable Coast Guard fleet, creating a stronger whole-of-nation approach to maritime security. The bigger platforms can also serve as command centers at sea, supporting joint operations and acting as visible symbols of state authority in contested waters. This visibility is crucial in countering Chinese narratives that downplay or ignore Philippine presence. Internationally, this move will be closely watched by both allies and rivals. China may view the acquisition as a direct challenge to its influence, while other Southeast Asian nations may see it as a model for strengthening their own maritime forces. The Philippines, often seen as one of the weaker players in terms of military capability, is now making bold steps that prove small nations can resist coercion by investing in the right assets and building strong alliances. This could also enhance the country's negotiating position in future diplomatic talks regarding the South China Sea dispute. In the long run, the Philippine Coast Guard's modernization program is expected to expand further. With the growing importance of the Indo-Pacific region in global trade and security, Manila understands that maritime defense is not a temporary necessity, but a permanent pillar of national policy. These bigger, faster, and more advanced ships are only the beginning of a more confident, more capable Philippine presence in the West Philippine Sea. As tensions remain high, Filipinos can look to their Coast Guard with pride, knowing that the country is no longer standing idly by, but actively defending its rights, its resources, and its dignity on the world stage. The symbolic and strategic weight of this acquisition cannot be overstated. For the first time in decades, the Philippines has vessels that can match regional threats not in sheer numbers, but in speed, endurance, and modern capability. It sends a clear message: the West Philippine Sea is not up for grabs, and the Philippine Coast Guard is ready to stand as the shield of the nation's maritime frontier.